Hey, good morning, students. On this snowy morning, aren't you glad that you don't have to drive in through this weather? So I drove in about 2 minutes out of my driveway. I'm like, I should have done this from my home office. The roads were crazy. I was sliding all over the place, but I'm here, made it, and we're gonna get started. So we are recording this so we can send it on to those that aren't able to make it today, as well as to mom and dad or caregiver, whoever you're with, just so that you've got some information for graduation and what's coming forward for you. And today, myself and your guidance counselor, Mrs. Van Eiselstein, we're going to chat with you just about a couple ways that you can be prepared and thinking forward for this graduation time. So I'm going to show you a couple things on the computer, just in terms of how to be looking at your credit counts and things like that, as well as we're going to talk exactly about graduation and what does that day look like. And you should be able to see my screen here. So the first question is, sometimes we have some anxiety around the actual graduation. Do I have enough credits? And so how do I graduate? And so it's really just taking a look at what you've earned and what you're going to earn and putting it against the standards for Alberta Ed. And I'm going to show you where you can find those things as well. So students must have enough credits to graduate high school. You know this. So we look at 100 credits. But what those credits are matter, and that's what I'm going to show you today. But many of you have already chatted with Ms. Van Eiselstein to take a look at that. And if you're not sure, if you're a little nervous about that, even after I show you how to grab your DAR and whatnot, you can make an appointment with her and she can talk that through with you. And so we'll look at that in a second. And then the next thing is we talk about being in good standing right up to the graduation day. So what that means is as you're finishing Q3 and then we're going into Q4, you want to make sure that the marks that you have are passing those courses that you actually need to graduate. And that's what we look at. So good standing means if you're working on like a core subject and you know you need that core subject for graduating and you're failing that core subject at that moment, then we need to have a discussion with you about what your plan is to rectify that. So good standing means that you are passing your courses at around that May 15th. So why May 15th? Like, why are we just picking that date? Well, here's the thing. So we have to order all the gowns and everything for the actual event, which is May 31st. And at some point, we have to know whether or not we're putting out the money to buy those things. It's not so much if, May 15th, if you're struggling at May 15th and that's it, it's over, you're not graduating. It's not about that. It's actually just about the ceremony, trying to get things organized. And at the same time, if we come up to that May 15th and you are having some struggles there, it's having a conversation with either myself or the guidance counselor and talking to us about your plan and maybe we can work something out. So May 15th isn't a drop dead date. It's just the dates that we have to land on to say, we have to make a decision whether or not you're walking the stage, and we look at your how you're doing and what your plan is. Okay, so that's that area right there. Now, what do we need for a diploma? I'm going to take a look at that grad page here in a second. I'm just going to go down this list and then I'm going to do a show and tell here. The valedictorian. So there is an application that I will send out in semester 2, and a valedictorian is an individual not only who is striving to have high success academically, but they also are part of the school fiber in terms of being involved in some of the social aspects from the standpoint of in class, how they interact with their peers and with their teachers. Are they a leader in their class? Are they involved in maybe a couple things outside of class in terms of their own volunteerism? It's that sort of idea. It's not just about who has the best marks, which is it is in some schools, but it's not here. It's a little bit more than that. So that application will come out down the road, and I encourage you to apply for that, especially if you're really having some high success this year. There are scholarships, grade 12s, that you can apply for. Some of the ones that are granted to you, at least right now, one is the Rutherford Award, and that is an automatic calculation once we send in our information to Alberta Ed, and you have potential to get monies from Alberta basically to apply to your university or college, which is fantastic. There are a ton of scholarships. Even if you just Google Canadian scholarships, you're going to see like the top 3 things that you find are some scholarship. There are provincial and federally funded scholarship websites that will actually tell you when the scholarship is ready for you to apply. And some of that information is on the website, but we'll also send that out to you. And I would encourage you, if you can, to start, applying for those scholarships if you are thinking about post-secondary education. And then the applications to college and university, those things actually do start up, and it's like in the next couple months here. And so it's good for you to start thinking about what college or university, if that's your track, that you would like to apply for, and then basically start going on their website and take a look at when is the first round of applications and what do they need. The legwork now for you as a grade 12 student, it's here. And so you do need to dig in and start looking forward. And if you need someone at your house to help you out with that, please do. I know I helped my daughters dig in a little bit as well with those things. So reach out. And if you're completely lost, boy, Ms. Van Eiselstein will gladly lend you a hand. So before I do a little show and tell on our website, Ms. Van Eiselstein, is there anything that you would like to add?
No, I think you've covered the outline quite well. I did drop a scholarship link into the chat for everyone as well, and it lists a whole bunch of scholarships, and it also tells you what month the deadlines are for each of those scholarships. So helps you to organize a little bit.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so you can see our website here, summittrials.rockyview.ab.ca. So for all things graduation, if you click on students, and oh, come on now, you'll see the web page is taking a while to boot up, but you'll see a graduation information link, and it's also on the quick links as well. So if I click on that, so you're going to see all the information, the current information. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Current information about the grad ceremony. So you can see, and we'll talk about that in a second. That's up top there. About grad photos, the booking link for grad photos will usually, it comes in January to book that March 6th to 10th seating in Calgary. If you're not in Calgary, unfortunately, this is the only spot that we have. A little message there. And then we talk about MyPass. So the video here walks you through how to sign up with MyPass. And this is where you're going to find your information about the courses that you have taken, and it'll give you a credit count. I'm going to show you what that looks like, as well as the courses you're registered for, so what you will get. Keep in mind that the option classes that have modules aren't going to be listed there. And so if you're looking and say, oh man, I only have, a 90 credits and I'm 10 short, and then you might notice, oh, none of my CTS for semester 2 are on there. That's right, because they're modules. And those will come on once you're actually registered in that particular module. And we do that once you pass the module. So you can just calculate that on your own. But here's the spot that I want to show you. And I'm not going to go through every line here because you can take a look. But to earn a minimum of 100 credits and this is right from the Alberta site, these are the things that you need to have on your DAR, which is your academic report. So it's, and Miss Van Eiselstein, you're welcome to chime in here. So you can see 30-1 English, social studies, math, what's needed. For science, any of these, it's not all of these, right? Obviously, it's one of these from each line. And phys ed 10, right? If you missed out on phys ed 10, then we got to get you going there. And then 10 credits from CTS or fine arts or second languages, okay? Or phys ed 20 and phys ed 30. So there's a lot of options there, but at least 10 credits from there. And then 10 credits in any 30 level course in addition to English, social studies. So these are the courses that you can add at a 30 level, and we need at least 10 credits for that. And that's why typically our some of our WeConnect 30 level WeConnect courses, that's the asynchronous side, those courses get snapped up because grade 12ers are looking for ways to get those credits. The second level here is getting a certificate of achievement. So a certificate of achievement is not the same as a diploma, but it is a achievement of high school. And if you think that this is you, this is something that you talk with a guidance counselor about, but this is 80 credits in these courses, okay? And then you do get a certificate of completion for high school. Anything that you'd like to add there before I go on to the MyPass piece, Ms. Van Eiselstein?
Just that if you're confused about, oh my goodness, that certificate of achievement, you're probably not in it. Most people are in the high school diploma route, and the handful of students who are working toward the K&E certificate of achievement, those students we've probably already spoken. And yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know and I can help you figure that out.
Yes. This is where the bulk of folks are right there. Okay. So signing into MyPass, if you haven't done so already, and again, it's on the website there. So remember, you're taking a look at the website and you're going to the section where it says MyPass. The link is there that take you to the Alberta government site. Okay, and then how to navigate the site is right there. Now, to get started, I shouldn't say most, some have done this already, about half of you, but you can email Mrs. Reinhardt. She's here at the office and she will set you up. It's faster than going through the tech side of things with MyPass because they mail you your passcode and that could take weeks. And so if you want to get in there right away, you can send an email to Mrs. Reinhardt with your personal email address, personal one, okay, and then password of your choice. You can always change it when you get in there, and then she'll set you up and send you a confirmation. Once you get in, it looks like this. So this is when you're signed in, and this is where you can start seeing, actually a lot about yourself from the standpoint of what does Alberta Ed have on file with you. And this is where you order transcripts if you're applying for college or university. All right, you can, these things are really not as important. The big thing that we were looking at here is the detailed academic report. So when I click on that, it's going to create it and it's going to ask me to download it to my computer, and this is what it looks like. So you're going to get a document that outlines all the courses that you have. I'm going to hide this, make it a little larger for people to see. There we go. That you have taken. So Madison, this is my daughter. She's up to 56 credits as of today. Okay. And then as I scroll down, I can see the courses that she's taken, and I can see the courses that she is enrolled in right now. So that's where the in progress. And they're not calculating the in progress, okay, to this number. So you can see the credits are there down the side here. And you can add that up. And then the ones that are in progress, you can add those. So core subjects, and you can just look above, they're worth 5 credits. And then subjects that are quartered, so you take them in Q1, Q2, Q3, things like that, they are typically 3 credits. When you take modules, as a good example right here, here's a bunch of modules, right? For computer science, and you see 1, 1, 1. So depending on how many modules you take is how many credits you get. So here for human and social services, right? So she took 4 there. And it all adds up for this final number that you want to be at 100. Okay. So if there's anything in here that you're concerned about or you're wrong, you think it's wrong, give us a call here at the school and we'll take a look at it. Any questions about that before I move on from anybody? You guys are easy. I know this is a ton of information, and again, I will send out this video so that you can go back and take a look at it if you need to. Okay, and before I jump into the ceremony itself, it's just this maybe prompting, this beginning to think about, where do I want to be in the next couple of years ahead? So if you had to think 2 years ahead, where would you hope to be? And so that wondering is around this. If you're having a hard time motivating yourself to completing your courses, or even just, it's hard work. Like grade 12 is tough work. There's a lot to be done. And if you're finding that it's a little difficult to maintain that motivation, then maybe it's time to be thinking about where do you want to go to help you have that end goal. So if 2 years from now, you say, I would like to be in college, in SAIT, taking these particular courses and moving forward with maybe to be a journeyman or something like that, start putting that out there. And by out there, I mean in your mind, looking ahead and say, how do I get there? Okay, what do I need to get there? And also think about, what if I don't get there? What if I just decide to say, I'm not going to worry about it? How, like in that 2 years time, are you going to be happy with where you are in that 2 years time? And are you going to look back and say, man, I wish I just put that little extra in to pass those courses and get my diploma and move on? And it's time to start thinking forward. And I know for some of us that's intimidating. And I would just say, we're not asking to say, what do you want to do with your life? But just thinking about even just the next 2 years forward, where would you hope maybe to be? And I say hope maybe because we have our goals and we go for it. But at least we're going. We may not get exactly there, but we're going for it. And so it's time, grade 12s. And if you need someone to chat about that, or you're really nervous about thinking about that, again, talk to a trusted adult in your life. I'm sure they would be totally willing and totally into just having a chat with you about that. And of course, there's always guidance counseling. And also thinking about on their websites, if you want to go to SAITs or U of C or any of those universities, is take a look to see when their virtual open houses are. And just go and listen. And a virtual open house often is where people are just talking about the university or about the program you might go into. And it's time to spend that time on yourself to do that. Okay, let's talk about graduation day, which is May 31st. Very exciting. Last year we had, it was such a great experience. It was just a joy to see the grade 12ers going out there, walking the stage. And we had some really special moments last year. And so I'm looking forward to that again this year. We're doing our graduation at Birch Church Theater. It's a little bit more intimate, and it allows us to also do maybe a little reception, like a dessert reception afterwards. So that's going to be great. So let's just go through this here. So May 31st, Birch Church Theater. The time is going to be at 6:30 in terms of the program start. We ask that students arrive by 6 p.m. You're going to receive a graduation box. Whoop, and in that box is everything you need for walking the stage, your gown, the whole shoot and match. All right, you'll be able to show up with everything on and ready to go. In fact, some folks, and you'll see right here, some folks decorated the top of their caps, which is pretty cool. And so if you want to do something like that, you certainly can. And then we drop off these boxes at our campuses in Cochrane, Airdrie, and Chestermere. And these are called CLCs. And we will communicate with you in terms of when the box is ready and where you're picking it up. And then you just go grab it that day and away you go. It does cost to have a graduation. We will be sending out the cost for that here in the next couple of weeks. It's not going to be high expense in terms of it'll be under $100. Basically, everything that we put together, we don't make a profit on anything. In fact, last year, we subsidized it by about 30%. And this year, if we can, we'll do something similar. So we want to keep the cost as low as possible so that everyone that would like to be a part of it can. And if that is an issue for you, please reach out to myself or to Mrs. Reinhardt or Ms. Van Eiselstein and just say the money is difficult and we'll see what we can do. The guests, I keep clicking on it. 5 people per person at this point, and this is going on the average of how many we think will actually walk the stage. So we have approximately 85 potential graduates, but in terms of actually walking the stage, that's a personal decision, and if they're ready to do so. And so we're gauging it around that probably 50 to 65 mark of people that are actually there. And so if we start there, we'll be able to have about 5 guests per person that can attend. And then closer to the time, we will open up for extra tickets. I know one of the individuals that filled out this form said, I'm going to have 15 people coming. And like, that's pretty amazing. Let's start with 5. And then hopefully we can get all 15 coming. But we start with that. And that will open up those more than 5 after May 1st. And we're going to be setting that up with Eventbrite. So it's really easy for you to go in there and get your tickets. And then we know how many seats we have left. And so we'll send that out closer to the time. The tickets don't cost anything. This is just for us to know what the seating is. We're going to webcast the event. So for those that can't make it, or if you have family across the world, we will be sending out a website that they can follow and watch you walk the stage as well. There's going to be a mini reception, basically some coffee and drinks and some dessert there so that we can hang out afterwards in that foyer at Burke Church Theater, and a chance for you to take pictures and just chat with family members and things like that. So we're looking forward to that. Okay, this last little piece that I need your help on here, the survey. So this survey was sent to your email, and we're going to send it out again today. I really need you to fill out this survey, even if you're not coming, because one of the questions there is, are you coming? Yes or no, and why. It helps us know what the reasoning is behind, but also just for numbers. And we want to know that you're communicating and that you're figuring out what's going on in your future here as well. So this form needs to be filled out. The other piece with this is the the size of your gown, right? And so, and I'll end off with this, but it's really important because without it, we're swimming in the dark here, people. So this is what the link shows. Okay, and it's just that opportunity. And I'll just put in here for no. It's even got things in here about my past to help you get set up. And that's why I said a good number of you have done this already, which is fantastic. So are you planning to attend the in-person? We really need to know if you're hoping to come or not. Okay, and then how many guests are you hoping to bring? Which is great. And then we get right into the gown size, because we have to order the gowns ahead. Right, so you fill that out, just do your best guess. Most of the gowns pretty much are, they're pretty close in size, really. There's not massive differences between large and extra large, or medium and large. And then life saying, because we do read this off when we call your name. So you can put in, some sort of life saying. And what are your future plans? So you can put in there whatever you like. And that's going to help us know that you're ready. And then if there's a song that you really like for this year that you think encapsulates some like your life here, drop that song in there, because we do play that at the very end. So this is really important for us, and we will send that out again to you. And folks, other than that, we will have another meeting down the road in semester 2 to remind you about the grad day, and I'll send out videos as well. And we're here for you. We're really excited and hopeful that you're able to graduate with us. We put on a good show for the ceremony, so we sure hope that you can show up for that. And other than that, that's all I have. And I know you've got classes here. So what I'm going to do is stay online here. And if you have a personal question that you want to ask, or drop it in the chat, I can answer that. And then if you need to go, you can go to class. Ms. Van Eiselstein, do you have any final words?
I think you've covered everything. Thank you.
All right, grade 12s. Good luck to you, and have a warm day today.